Hey, good morning, you guys. This was sent to me because a lot of individuals know I have spoken about the Noahide laws on my platform, but they seem to get whacked every time I do, so I can't go into all the specific details. But we're going to talk about this and what the Sanhedrin did in regards to a letter and what they believe is the fulfillment of what Trump is going to do for all mankind. Now, this letter from the Sanhedrin, and if you don't know who the Sanhedrin is, they're the ones that put Christ to death. They did not put Christ to death under his father's law. They put Christ to death under Talmudic law and code. That's why in the gospel accounts it said he must be put to death according to our law. So it says right here, Sanhedrin letter to Trump, you have been elected to fulfill a heavenly mission. They also say the reason he didn't get re-elected after his first election was it was basically a chastisement by God for not installing the Noahide laws. But he's been restored to fulfill his divine purpose of finally installing the Noahide laws. The Sanhedrin published an open letter to President Donald Trump blessing him for putting faith at the forefront of establishing a White House faith office. The Sanhedrin called on the president to establish an international divine court for all nations. And by the way, establishing this international divine court for all goes roughly under the 7th Noahide law. Dear Honorable President Donald Trump, may Hashem, the Creator, bless you and your nation. We extend our heartfelt gratitude for bringing faith to the forefront of American and global culture by establishing the faith office in the White House. By the way, his faith advisor is a huge Noahide advocate. She actually went over to Israel to learn from the rabbis. And this is why she says, Christians must learn from Jews, not convert them. Paula White believes Christians should learn from Jews rather than try to convert them. So much so that she is now in Israel studying Torah with Orthodox Jews. By the way, when you hear a lot of these individuals from the Sanhedrin say the Torah, they're just covering it up, but it's actually the Babylonian Talmud and not the Torah that their allegiance lies to. Paul the Apostle made it very clear that God extended his love to the Gentiles, but he did not take something from the Jews and tell us to go back and course correct or convert them. White told the Jerusalem Post on Wednesday as she sat outside the King David Hotel, I do not want to convert Jews or send them to live in Israel for the rapture. The plan for salvation for the Jews is God. The rapture is a Christian, particularly evangelical belief about the end of days when Jesus will return, the bodies of the dead believers will be resurrected, and Christianity will be glorified. White said that to be a good Christian, one must understand Judaism. Back to the article, the Sanhedrin's letter continued, your recognition of the importance of religion and public life is a step towards restoring moral values and spiritual leadership in the world. The Sanhedrin then listed the universal moral code, and then it goes through the 7 Noahide laws. But what's fascinating about these 7 Noahide laws that doesn't come from the Bible, they just make it look like it comes from the Bible. It comes under Talmudic system. They want to enforce it to everybody through political power, so they get to be the ones to execute orders through it of what they do to other individuals they don't deem as righteous. That means all individuals who are not for them. If a person reads those 7 Noahide laws on the surface and they look at it on the surface, they would believe that it comes from the Bible. So when you talk to a lot of people about this, they have no idea what you're talking about because they don't understand the background of these things. And as everybody knows, he is the biggest champion of the Noahide laws, always has been, but it goes through all sorts of our presidents all the way back to Ronald Reagan. because they signed the Noahide laws into the Education Day. And it's been there, but it's never been enacted. They truly believe he's the one that's going to finally enact these laws, because they believe these laws are going to restore peace to all of the world, but it's going to be with an iron fist if they actually carry this out. And they believe that he will carry this out some way, because it's his divine mission. That's why they believe he was anointed as high priest at the assassination when blood was on his ear, referencing back to the Old Testament and the Levitical priesthood after the order of Aaron. That's how they would anoint the blood to the high priest after they sacrificed an animal. And they want to get their temple. That's why they have him compared to Cyrus the Great, because it was the decree of Cyrus that went out that allowed the Jews to return to the land and rebuild the temple, the second temple. So anyways, that's all I can say for right now. God bless you. This is just to bring awareness to this. Have a good one.